Hello everyone and welcome to my very first commentary. This is for my very first ever video I ever did on my Google Plus days. This is in fact my very first rat tries. Let that sink in a minute, folks. We're going way back to 2016, way back to when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. So yes, this is it, folks. My very first video I ever did on Google Plus, and my very first ever rat tries. So this is why I wanted to do some commentaries. Now I'm not going to do a commentary for every single video I've ever done, only on selected videos from my very early days when I first started back on Google Plus. So it'll be like my very first rat tries, or my very first this, or my very first that, how it all began, or pilot episode for a show, or video where this person gets introduced for the first time, or this person appears for the first time, you know, something like that, like firsts as well. Now unfortunately, some of my very early work cannot be found or tracked down or recovered because they've been lost in the winds of time, but I have managed to find some of my oldest content. I've managed to download and save to my drives and stuff like that, so I'm going to use them for these commentaries. I've managed to track down a handful of them. Luckily I had the perseverance of mind to put on to YouTube most of my Google Plus stuff anyhow. So when you go to the playlists, it will say Google Plus Archive. That's all my old Google Plus stuff I did lose when I was transferring over, unfortunately. Some of it's been lost to the winds of time, but like I've already mentioned, most of it I have managed to find and upload to YouTube, so that's great. So I'll be cherry picking a handful of my earliest work, or first introduction of a character, or first new show, and using them as a template for these commentaries. And why am I doing these commentaries? Because I want to, because I love doing them. If one of the early videos features somebody else for the first time, then I'm hoping to get these on these commentary tracks as well, and you'll be able to hear what they thought of it and stuff like that, or what they thought of their first experience on the show and stuff like that. It'd be cool to hear their insights. So with that out of the way, I just want to quickly briefly talk about the video itself before I get into the bread and butter. It's rubbish. I have to be honest with you, my very first ever video was rubbish, but bear in mind this was, like I said, back in 2016, and I was on Windows XP at the time, I think. I was, or was it Windows 7? I can't remember now. Memory blank. I was using Windows Movie Maker back then for my Google Plus content, and you can tell I did no editing whatsoever. Back then editing wasn't even on the cards for me. Wham bam thank you ma'am, slapdash, what I was all about back then. I managed to find some like royalty free music and some titles, and put, you know, rat tries at the very beginning, you know, very simple thing, and then like Yorkie rap production title at the very end. But apart from that, I just literally slapped the footage I recorded off my very old webcam, which is crap. You probably guessed by looking at the frame rate of the video itself. I just slapped that in the middle, and that's it, called it a day. Nowadays I do heavily edit a lot of my videos, you know, trim it down and stuff like that, get rid of the excess fat, so to speak. And that was how I made a video back then. I know, shocking, I know. Nowadays I use Wondershare, which for me is a good editing tool. It's not for beginners, but it's not for experts either. It's in between for me, because I've unlocked all of its features because I pay for it yearly. But for me, it's just perfect for what I do, and it's got everything I ever need on there. So that's A-OK. Now, if I remember correctly, the tools I was using, the actual setup, was this really crap Logitech camera. I know one of my production team, Andy, got me a decent webcam in a few years after that, but the very first webcam I ever bought for myself was pretty shite, and I can't remember what it was, but I think the frame rate, as you can tell, was about 15-25 frames per second, because as you can tell there's a little bit of lag when I'm moving about and stuff like that. As for the microphone, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I can't remember who actually made it. I think it was Logitech as well. I believe it was like a square type sloped base with the microphone sticking up in the middle with a button which acted as the mute button. And I can't remember what the colour was on the mute button. I think it was green. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that was it. Just the webcam and the microphone, and that was it. So yeah, looking back now, nearly 50 episodes later, I've improved a hell of a lot. I always wanted to do a food tasting show, but my overall aim was to start covering Sega stuff, you know, the consoles, the games and stuff like that. So that's when I started doing the rap plays, but my first few rap plays was just mobile gaming, and then that's when I started to doing more Sega stuff. So I did what was it, Sonic Mania, and then after that I started to do actual Sega retro content. So then I moved, that's when it like evolved from there, kind of thing. So that's that. But I'm mostly doing these commentaries because a few of out there have been asking me questions of late about this and that and the other, and I was going to do another Q&A, but I thought that's sorry, I just do it on here. And the most question I've been getting is why Yorkie Productions? Simple, because they say it's Sega themed YouTube channel, so why call it Yorkie Productions? And like I said, its simple reason is because every time back then, before I jumped to YouTube, I wanted to name my channel, or you know, my page on Google Plus at the time, a Sega themed like name. It was already taken. Someone said, oh, you can't use that, it's already been taken from someone else, or you can't use that, it's too obvious to someone else's channel, blah 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 blah. So in the end I thought, you know what, fuck it. I won't censor this because these commentaries are a bit uncensored. I thought, fuck it. I just make up a random one, sod it, because it matches me now. So I asked my ex-girlfriend at the time what any ideas, you know, like she can come up with at the time. So thanks to her, that's how Yorkie Productions was born. And that's why in the 1000 subscribers episode I mentioned in the title, at the end credits, and also the montage what John put in for me, because like, for better or for worse, she did make an impact for Yorkie Productions, and she appeared in a few videos, and she thought of Yorkie Productions, and she had her own show, Pigeon Pecks, as well. So she said, why don't you call it Yorkie Productions? Because Yorkie, because you're in York, Rat, because you're a rat, don't ask, and Productions is your company. So the rest is, they say, is history, and that's how Yorkie Productions started. And most question I also get asked is, will you be doing other Sega stuff in the future? Yes, as in branching up more into game gear and stuff like that. And will you be doing non-Sega content? Well, I have. I started already with some Game Boy stuff. I did Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, so I'll be doing more of that in the future. So thanks for joining me in this first commentary, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Followed by joint second or third place, these two. So that's it. So I'll see you later. Hi, it's me. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you want to support me, then smash that like button, hit that subscribe button as if your life depended on it, and enjoy my other content. For now, see you later. Bye.